Alright, welcome back and welcome to the new guy. So today we've got mining on selling. Apparently the latest hotfix has fixed it so we can actually scan for rocks. And of course the first patch I find has this nice Quantanium rock. Looking like about 12.3. I've already put a saber on it to crack it. We'll get it charged up here and get it broken. I'm expecting most of a load of quant here. Did actually try doing the mining bags on the prospector, replacing it with the Argo mole bags, and that's still a no-go. They appear to have some collision issues. So you can't even get the bags close enough, and the worst part is you can't put the prospector bags back on. Now, for those of you who haven't played in a while, used to be you could find Quantanium rocks. Now you find rocks that have Quantanium in them. Big difference. Um, and they're far and fewer between, but you make a lot more off of them. I think it's somewhere to the tune of about 25 grand per SCU now. So that's just one of the changes that's happened in the last, like, since 320 something. So as you can tell, we're taking our time with this because that charge window is not very big. You want to be real gentle with these Quantanium rocks because they can shoot up like crazy. So obviously we're taking our time with this one because we don't have a choice. But typically something like this, you'll do your first break, and then you may or may not have to do some secondary breaks. Just depends. I've had some crack where even at 12, 13K, they're all purple and ready to be picked up. And then I've had others where you have to crack every single one of them again. But you figure this is what maximum composition of about 37 SCU. So we'll probably get somewhere between 15 and 18, I'm guessing, in Quantanium. Probably closer to 15, I would guess. Now, I do things a little bit differently with Quantanium. Typically, I go for the largest chunks I could find and try to fill up primarily on whatever the top tier ore is. But with Quantanium, every little bit counts. So a lot of times I will just pick up just about all of it. Alright, we're starting to charge now. Now it's just a matter of keeping it on that lower end as much as possible, just in case it jumps up a little. We do not want any red, the quant rock. You can survive and bring a lot of them down, but not those. Alright, so let's see, that's a purple. Another purple. Alright, so far we're looking pretty good. This is a little bit smaller. We could have put an Optimax on it and maybe got a better break. That's a good chunk. And that's the other rock. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff that's... Well, first, let's go grab our gadget, since they're reusable. Make sure you're completely on the ground as much as possible because you don't want that ship bouncing around or anything. Yes, they are some big chunks. Looking for this gadget here. The way everything slid, we may or may not have lost it. We'll see. Yep, there we go. Always recover the gadget if you can. Also, keep in mind you only have a certain amount of time once you start picking up quant, which is why I didn't pick any up yet. And if you can't take it off your backpack, just go ahead and play with something in your backpack, and then it'll let you. And for those interested, I think that's called the ice break livery for the paint on the prospector. All right, now let's start picking up some rocks. And again, like most things, we'll start with the biggest chunks and work from there. Well, the most. In this case, I think it's going to be that 82. So we'll start with that. All right, and now our countdown has started. And it's, I mean, you get like 25 minutes. So, I mean, it's not like if you're out getting more stuff after this, it might be a concern. But if you're just taking this up and going back to their station, you should be fine. I remember back in the day, we only had like, what, 15 minutes tops. And times before that, we had even less. A lot of times you'd get back to the station with like 2 minutes left. What is that? All right, we'll go ahead and grab this just so we don't leave any quant here. It ain't much, but still better than nothing. There you go. A little over 15 SCU total of Quantanium. That'll probably work out to about 10, 11. So go ahead and get up out of atmosphere here. And we'll go ahead and put the landing gear up since we forgot. And basically we just need to get high enough up out of atmosphere so we can actually jump. Now, keep in mind, if you're going on the surfaces, that a lot of pirates like to hang out in this area just because of that. So, belt mining is probably safer, but selling is probably the best place to go for rocks because they're pretty much the majority of them are going to be prospector size. As of yet, they haven't changed that, so that's my recommendation if you want to do moon mining. And then we actually have up in the top right next to the decoy and noise indicators, that little light right there that's not doing anything right now. Once that starts flashing yellow, I believe you have like 8 minutes or something. And then obviously if it's red, you're down to like 2 minutes. So that's your volatile cargo indicator. Once it gets into red, you need to get on the ground and get it stored fast. Otherwise, you face the potential of blowing up. A load of Quantanium blowing up will take out your ship. Soft death, possibly even worse. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're landing is you don't want to land hard. Anything can set off Quantanium. But we'll go ahead and get landed here and get the ship stored. Like I said, this is one of the times where you have to store. You don't want to leave your ship out. Something were to happen where you get 30K or crash the desktop, something like that, your ship will still be out. And we do not want that. All right, so we'll go ahead and shut the ship off, get out, and go store it. Don't worry about repairing or anything else when you got Quantanium in there. You can always do that after the fact. And apparently I'm getting hit with a bug. Tell me I gotta claim it. That ain't good. Imagine that happening when you have a load of quant. Murphy's Law. Alright, so first thing we'll do here is try to reposition it. See if maybe we can trigger it to allow us to store it. Fortunately, like I said, we came straight back, so we've got time. Maybe not a crap load of time, but we got some time. You know, like I said, you don't have to worry too much until that light starts blinking. When it starts blinking yellow, that means you're getting closer. So we'll go ahead and try to center this a little better. If that doesn't work, we'll go out and we'll request a hanger again. And you can do that instead. That way it doesn't take as long. Because then you can just run and jump out of the ship. Alright. Let's see. Yep, looks like we're going to have to go out and request another hanger. It's a bug. It happens. It's not usually a big deal. So literally we'll just lift off. We'll go out of the hangar, we'll let the door close, and then we'll request it again. It'll probably even give us the same hanger. And then it should work. It's like sometimes it just doesn't trigger properly. So it doesn't realize the ship's there. So again, we'll just go out here and wait. Give the doors time to close. You can see they're already closing, so it won't take long. And you can even go so far as to try to get in front of another hangar and see if it'll let you get a different hangar. But in this case, we're just going to try and request it and see if it'll give us the same hangar. Although it does tend to glitch a little bit and take a second once you go out and back in. There we go. Alright, so we'll try this again. Nothing worse than having a load of quant at, the tune of 25 grand in SCU and not being able to land and store your ship. Well, I guess losing your ship when you've got it all refined and trying to sell it would be an issue. Alright, and we're going to do everything kind of by the book. So try to center your landing, the whole works. Just to make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. Alright. Now let's try this again. There we go. Now we can store. Make sure that the ship is fully down on the floor and the doors are closing before you walk away. I've seen people walk away and take the elevator and then the ship come back up. All right. I'll take the elevator down to the refinery. Get this going. We're going to do things a little bit different today. So we'll go ahead and get the refinery order set up, but won't accept it quite yet. And then we're going to switch over and set up Regolith for the mining order. It's kind of a quick and dirty walkthrough of how to set it up. Alright, so select your ship, set up work order, select the materials. I'm going to go ahead and start getting in the habit of selecting everything because we're going to need everything down the road. Once crafting and base building come in, we'll get our quote. Obviously, it's Quantainium, so we're going to get charged more. And it's going to take a little longer. So then we'll go ahead and switch over and here in a minute. Get Regolith up and all right, there we go. All right, so it automatically has quant selected. I don't know why it just does. Probably because it's the first one. So you just go up top, select your station that you're refining at, click the boxes to select the different ores, punch your number in for the quantity on the left, and then it'll automatically determine what your yield is. And if you watch those numbers, they're actually pretty close. So they actually did a really good job on this. You can even put the time in here of what it's saying it's going to take. And that's just hours and minutes. Select your place where you're planning on selling. Put in your refinery fee. And then down below here, it'll actually show how much you'll get net. So we're looking at 331,000 for that load of quant and aluminum. So quant is definitely the way to go if you can find it. All right, so there you go. And now we've got our work order submitted as well. So it's started. All right, that's that. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.